That's right, it's time for the best of Board Game Geek. Let's do it.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mike.
I'm Nick.
We are the Brothers Murph. It's once again time to talk everything Board Game Geek.
That's right. We're going to talk about the hottest games of the month, some news, some personal picks of ours, our favorite game of the month. You know what, Mikey? As usual, let's get right into it. Let's go into the news.
So in our last month, we talked about nominees for the Spiel des Jahres, which of course the German game of the year. There's the kind of German strategic game of the year, the Kennerspiel, and the children's game of the year, the Kinderspiel. We now have winners for those. So congrats to the winners and the nominees for the Spiel des Jahres winner, the kind of general family game of the year. It went to Dorf Romantic, the board game. We're super stoked because Nick and I are personally very big fans of that game. Awesome, kind of very family weight, seemingly a perfect pick for the Spiel des Jahres. This is kind of something that appeals to every member of the family. For a Kennerspiel, the kind of more strategic game, went to Challengers, which is a game that we personally really want to try. We were kind of playing these very quick heads-up games of war, I kind of feel like. You're trying to have the most power and stuff. You're moving between different competitors and stuff, kind of musical chair style. Then the Kinderspiel went to Mysterium Kids. So this is kind of Mysterium is a great game where you're sort of giving clues and getting people to figure out what weapons were used against you because you're this ghost. And now there's a kids version where you're looking for, let me sure you get the name right, Captain Echo's Treasure. So congrats to all the winners for being selected. The nominees, of course, and the suggested games from the Spiel des Jahres committee is always something that's really cool and it's always exciting. So congrats to those winners.
It's the best time of year. It's my favorite time of year, and that is the BGG Artist Series. I look forward to this time of the year every single year because I love the BGG Artist Series. If you know what this is, BGG hires board game artists to essentially make alternate covers or essentially like travel brochure kind of things for games that they really, really like. That is the coolest thing in board games. I honestly believe that. I love them so much. And this year we had Too Many Bones, Cryptid, Isle of Cats, and Ark Nova. And all four of these are absolutely beautiful. And I especially love the Ark Nova one. I think the Ark Nova one, I'm like, oh my gosh, please make like a sleeve I can put around my board, my game with this cover on there because I think I like the cover of Ark Nova a lot, the normal one, but this one is just absolutely gorgeous. But all four of them are so cool. It's so interesting to see different artists' takes on these games and the different ways they do it every single time. I'm like, wow, that's really, really cool. I want every single one of them. I love the Artist Series, my favorite time of the year, and these four are absolute bangers.
So that's a little bit of Board Game Geek news for your faces, but we're going to talk about the hottest games of the month because there's been a lot going on. There's a game that's just been planted at number one since it came out. So let's talk about the hottest games, the things that everyone is talking about this month.
All right, so here we're gonna talk about the hottest games of the month. These are games that have been all over the hotness, up and down kind of stuff. These would be the 10 ones that seem to be on there the most.
That's what people are talking about.
Number 10 has been here for a little bit, and this has been The Witcher: The Old World. This has been getting into people's hands, and people have been really enjoying this one.
Absolutely. So it had a lot of buzz, obviously, when it was on its crowdfunding campaign. So The Witcher is a very popular series of books, video games, shows, all sorts of stuff. There's a lot of Witcher stuff.
There's a lot of stuff out there.
This is a kind of campaign
So it's
game.
actually not a campaign game. I actually found that out after the fact. So it's actually not a campaign game. Yeah, we were mistaken about that. But yeah.
But you're making tough decisions.
Yes, you're doing Witcher stuff, yeah.
You're having to do decisions that are going to kind of create forks in your path anyway. So you're going to have direct and possible, highly consequential outcomes.
And you're trying to get trophies. You can get that by like fighting monsters, completing quests, things like that. Apparently, again, it's very, very good. We've talked about this a lot kind of recently just amongst ourselves that like IP games, particularly video game games, have gotten good.
Really good.
They've gotten really good, which is very cool because they didn't used to always be good. And so like, it's just cool to see The Witcher and a bunch of other stuff out there being like, oh, this is actually really, really good. And people are really loving it.
The fact it's not a campaign, which we thought it was, actually makes me more interested because maybe we'd actually have a chance to get it done.
Yeah. So Witcher Old World is number 10. Let's go to get number 9. Number 9 is Arc Nova, and this is always hovering
First
around the 10.
time on the hotness, everybody.
There's been a couple times where it has been on the hotness here, but it's
Yes.
always hovering around. My guess is like pre-orders have like fully been going out for the expansion.
Yeah.
And I think it's just put in people's minds. It's on BGA now.
It's gonna be on demo at Gen Con.
Here's the thing, once that expansion comes out, it's gonna be partner number 1 probably for like another 3 months.
Forget about it.
So it's just, Arc Nova is, again, one of the most popular games in the last 10 years. It's just
running
been
a zoo if you're unaware of Arc Nova.
Indeed, about running a zoo. And you have 2 different scoring tracks, an appeal track and a conservation track. You want those to cross.
Yep.
Conservation is much harder to get than appeal, but also that track
more
moves faster.
valuable.
Yeah.
So it's the most important thing we should focus on in zoos, and so I like that they make it the most valuable thing you can do.
It's just really good. It's just really good. It's on BGA, so it's getting played like crazy. It's super, super fun. Love some Arc Nova. Yeah, so number 9, let's get number 8. Number 8 is gonna be Heat. Pedal to the metal.
We're still racing out here.
People love Heat.
Racing to that hotness. It's Heat. Hotness, Heat. They go together.
Yeah.
Heat is a racing game, a card-driven racing game. We're going to be playing out cards. They're going to move you a certain amount of spaces. And whatever gear you're in is going to dictate how many cards you must play.
Yes.
So if you're one of the high gears, you're playing all sorts of cards
You're
out.
moving quick.
Now, some cards have lower numbers and higher numbers, or even 0, so you can kind of get away with maybe being in a higher gear than you should be, but occasionally you're gonna come around these turns, and you can only play basically so much movement from those cards you play to be able to make that turn safely.
Yeah.
And one thing you can do to help manage that is you have heat in your engine, which is again represented by cards, and you can basically get rid of heat out of your engine to kind of help you power through that turn. So you can kind of cover some of the costs, but if you have way too much speed, you go into that, it doesn't matter how much heat you have in your engine, you're spinning out, you're gonna have to try it again. So you need to kind of shift up and down into gears strategically to try to make those turns. And it's just a really fun way to do that. This is, there's a lot of racing games, there's a lot of card-based racing games and stuff, but this one just does a really cool job of like having that heat and that kind of like essentially a resource to manage. And then when it's got out of your engine, it's now in your cards of how do you get it back into your engine to kind of build up for another turn is really cool. It's really, really fun. And there's, of course, so many game elements like weather and stuff to explore, which we've not done any of personally. We just played the base map, base game, easiest, most intro level thing, and even that was super fun. So,
yeah, totally.
Yeah, a lot of people are
it's a good
really enjoying this game.
Yeah, it's good. I like it a lot. It's already in the top 100, and it's just
crazy.
It's just cool. It's wild. So that's number 8. Let's go ahead and get number 7. So number 7 is Mordred. This was a Kickstarter from CMON.
It's actually Mordred. It's a Judge Dredd game.
That's right.
No, it's a CMON game set in like Arthurian legend.
Yeah, exactly. You're kind of in ancient Britannia, and you're taking control of one of 4 kind of factions from that time, and you're essentially trying to get the attention of Mordred, Morgana, and Merlin, kind of like the 3 leaders. You know, you're trying to get their attention, and you're fighting with each other. It's kind of like troops on a map, but there's like wandering monsters rolling around. You have to like deal with them. And this funded a little while ago, but yeah, it's cool. It's got like Adrian Smith art.
The art's really cool. It feels different for Adrian Smith to me.
A little
like,
bit, yeah.
It seems similar, but like, there's something about the color and style that's, I don't know. It's got an intrigue to it.
Totally.
I'm pulled in by it for sure.
Yeah, so it seems cool. So yeah, so this one is popping up on the hotness. I'm not sure maybe if it's hitting people's hands now. I can't quite remember when the Kickstarter campaign happened, but I think it might be around that time.
People are talking about it.
But nonetheless, yeah, Mordred. I really like the cover and stuff like that, and I think it looks cool. I mean, it's not really our personal kind of game, but nonetheless, it seems like a cool game. And CMON tends to do good games like this, especially this kind of stuff. And and CMON and Adrian Smith, you know, it's people and jelly. So
that's an old school combo right there. That's gotten them a lot of
I got a lot of play from that one. So that is Mordred number 7. Let's go into number 6.
Number 6 is another game that's been hitting people's hands. I see all sorts of these white boxes that say Castles of Burgundy on the side.
Yep.
And this is the fancy special edition of Castles of Burgundy that was an Alea and Awaken Realms co-op. Where you kind of have Castle of Burgundy, a classic Euro, not known for its looks per se, and Awaken Realms, who makes very shiny, wonderfully pretty games, gave it the old spruce up, and made it super deluxe. So the acrylic tiles are even miniatures for all of the tiles that have like actual animals for the animal tiles and buildings for the buildings. Crazy deluxe version of Castle of Burgundy. One of the most celebrated, of course, great games that's ever been made.
Yeah.
So this is getting people's hands. It looks like they did such a good job.
People are really enjoying it. We know a lot of people who have it. Everyone's just like over the
FOMO is
moon
real
about it.
right now. I'm like, man, that looks really, the pieces look really nice. So it's in people's hands. And of course, Castle Burgundy generates its own hype based on the game itself. And now to have that kind of maybe more modern sensibility in terms of the art and the style, and people do like games with a little bit more production now. So of course they went way to the extreme of that. But it seems like they did it really, really well. I mean, the pieces look it's just incredible.
Yeah.
And it's in people's hands. So that's why it's on the hotness here at number 6.
Yeah. All right, let's get number 5. Number 5 is hitting people's hands now. I think
it's about to. Pre-orders are certainly underway. This is Expeditions.
Indeed, yeah. There's a couple different videos out there for it, and so people are getting really.
I've been watching them.
You're interested in it, yeah.
I'm curious about it. I want to find out.
Yeah, this is the next. It's kind of set in the. Is it set in the Scythe world?
Yes.
Okay, it is. Yeah, it's from Stonemaier, something like that.
Yeah, set in the same universe, the same world as Scythe is. Yep.
Yeah, you're really excited for this one, huh?
Yeah, it's just interesting. So Scythe is a game that we enjoy, but we're not like particularly competitive at it. We don't. If people get really good at Scythe, and we're just not that level. So for us, and also you need kind of a higher player count. It's not one that gets played very often, but I do enjoy that game. So seeing a game set in the same universe, where now you have a single mech that you're kind of running around and doing different types of actions, I'm just curious about it. I want to know more, and you're kind of exploring different tiles, doing these types of actions, and there's this little cube you're kind of moving around, and whatever you cover up, you'll do the other 2 actions. So you're doing multiple actions on a turn, and there's always kind of varied card play that you kind of can tuck around your board and do stuff with. So it just has a lot of interesting things that I really personally want to try and see how they come together, if they're interesting, in a cool world to boot. So Stonemaier Games generates their own hype. As soon as anything happens, Stonemaier, people are talking about it. And Expeditions is absolutely no different. And so it is number 5 on the hotness.
That's right. All right, let's get number 4. Number 4 is My Gold Mine.
I don't even know what it is.
This is not a new game. This is not a new game. It was on the Spiele recommended list. I know that. But the main thing is that Shove Sit Down just did a review for it. So it's all over the hotness now. The power
of one channel.
And so this is a kind of a push your luck like family weight game where you are dwarves and you are mining. There's kind of like a row of cards, and you can draw from like 2 decks. One of them's face up, one of them's face down. You essentially are moving, trying to get stuff and essentially move towards the exit. But if you ever start moving out, you're moving on to face down cards, and there's gonna be the dragons and stuff down there. So you don't want that. So it's apparently just a really nice push your luck game that people haven't.
It's like really cute art and stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's like 2 or 3 years old, so it's not like it's really, really old. But yeah, Shove Sit Down did a review for it, and so now it's just like all over the place.
I'm sure it's sold out everywhere.
I'm sure it's sold out everywhere. Yeah, and so that is the power of Shove Sit Down. So yeah, so My Gold Mine, I was just like, what is this a new game? And I was like, what happened? I was like, oh, Shove Sit Down. That's what happened. And so, but apparently it's a really fun kind of family push your luck game. I always like push your luck games, so I'd love to try it. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's My Gold Mine sitting at number 4. Let's get to number 3. So number 3 is a new game from Board Dice called Barcelona. Pardon me. That's going to be coming out very soon, basically now,
I think,
as of the recording of this. This is a game where you are expanding, I should say, the city of Barcelona outside of its kind of like original city walls. And in this new era of expansion, in this new area, you had Serda, who was this kind of like visionary architect who wanted to build a kind of more equitable living situation with wider streets, so people had more space, more green space. And where folks who were, on the poorer end and the richer end could all live together in kind of similar living conditions. You shouldn't have to live in poor living conditions just because you don't have as much money and stuff. That, of course, did not happen. But the vision of that
rich be rich,
The rich be rich. And so the vision of that is what's kind of here, and you're kind of building out a nicely laid out city.
Yeah.
And you're doing this by putting out citizens into different intersections, and then based on the citizens that are around city blocks, you can build certain types of buildings. You can work up the Sagrada Familia track, which gives you a bunch of bonuses along the way. There's sort of intermittent scorings, which you're going to want to have built out certain types of things or worked on the board in certain ways to maximize that scoring. We got a chance to play this one, and what's really cool is like you're going to get a grip of points in this game. It's highly satisfying to play in that regard. And Board and Dice has a great track record at this point.
Yes.
So, and beautiful art, by the way.
Gorgeous.
Board and Dice does not always have the most pretty looking
They
games.
don't.
This game is gorgeous.
Gorgonzola. It's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Barcelona is really, really fun. I liked it a lot. It's a good one. And so that's number 3. Let's get number 2. Number 2, we've been playing a bunch of, and it just won the Spiel des Jahres, so it was all over the hotness. This is Dorfer Antique by Pegasus Spiel, and good on him. It was the one I really was hoping was going to win the Spiel. And it did. It's really, really fun. Shout out to Aldi, BoardGameGeek, for giving us a copy of Dorfer Antique.
Showed us a game and gave us a copy. Very nice.
It's really, really fun. This is a game based off of the video game Call of Duty. And you are building up the farmlands.
Based on Duke Nukem.
So this is based on Dorfer Antique, which is essentially a board game anyway. Now they just made a board game. Yeah. And you're putting out these tiles, and you're essentially trying to finish tasks. So these tasks will be for like rivers and railroads and wheat fields and villages. And the task will be like, this forest needs to be 4 tiles big. I'll be on 4 tiles. So once you build 4 tiles in there, then that task is done. Boom, and you bring out a new task. And your goal is to try to get through all of the tasks. And they either will be 4, 5, or 6. So the problem is once you have a forest that's more than, let's say it's already at 5, if you get a 4 tile, you can't put it there because it's already past its limit. But if you build a 4 one and then you get the 6 one next, then you can put it in there because then it's only gonna be 5.
There you go.
And so you can really try and work that out like that. It's really, really fun. It's a bit of a campaign game in terms of like you're gonna unlock stuff, get more tiles, which score in different ways. It is so much fun.
It really is. It's a really nice,
and it's perfect for
time.
German Game of the Year.
Perfect.
Spiele des Jahres, it's perfect for that.
Family weight, very casual, easy to learn. You can literally hop in and out mid-game. It does not matter. It is a great time, very relaxed. Great way to just kick back with the game.
Yes.
And we've been really enjoying it for that exact purpose. Like, there's enough to think about to create some crosstalk at the table. Where do you think we should put this and stuff? But it's not super high stakes. The unlockables are really fun to go for because you can start hopefully putting together higher and higher score games. It's a blast. It's really a blast. We're personally big fans.
Yeah, it's number 2. It was not number 1 though. Let's get number 1. Number 1 is just straight up parked at the top of the hotness. Has been for about a week now. And this is Horror on the Orient Express.
Yes.
So this is by Chaosium, I believe. And the same people who made Call of Cthulhu. And this is a Call of Cthulhu game, but it's a board game.
And this is, if I'm not mistaken, based on one of the most popular Call of Cthulhu
stories
kind of
or what?
Stories.
Yeah, exactly. So you're on the Orient Express, but it's like a horror version. And this is a cooperative board game where you're on the train and you're more or less trying to survive the train ride. And there's cultists around, and they're gonna be trying to do some like crazy, hideous ritual like cultists do. And you basically, you're trying to stop them from doing that. That's what you're trying to do. And you can like talk to passengers and do stuff, but it's a cooperative game. And it's got a very evocative cover because it's a big old Cthulhu-looking train and stuff.
All on the front,
And yeah, I mean, Call of Cthulhu is absolutely gargantuan. It's a humongous RPG game, and yeah, it seems cool. I mean, the theme is cool. What you're doing seems really, really cool. It's cooperative, which we always love. Yeah, I'm super interested in this one. I'm curious. It's slated for a 2025 release, so I don't think it's going to be out for a minute. But I think they're doing a crowdfunding for it. So
I imagine, and I think they're doing crowdfunding at some point, but. They've just announced that they're going to be showing off maybe a little bit of Gen Con or something. I think so they're getting the hype going, and it clearly is working. And that cover is, I'm like, that's pretty crazy.
That's some evocative cover art. Yeah, exactly. So seems cool though, and I'm very excited to try it. It seems rad. Shutting down those cultists. Get wrecked, cultists.
Boom.
So that is the hotness. So at the end of the hotness, what we always do is we always look at the top 10 most played games of the month. So these are people who have logged their plays on BGG. So make sure to log your plays if you don't already.
Do it.
So let's go ahead and get into it, Mikey. Number 10 is the Crew Mission Deep Sea that had 4,551 plays.
Very nice. The new entry here is Sea Salt and Paper at 5,016 plays. This is, of course, on Board Game Arena. I think this number is going to go up because it's going to be available kind of for the first time in North America, starting at Gen Con with Pandasaurus picking it up. We're going to be
so easy to play, and it's
so easy to play multiple rounds. This is going to be on the list for a while.
The Crew Quest for Planet 9 is next, was at 5,035. Yep.
You got Marvel Champions, of course, always around at 5,059.
Pretty low. It's the summer. No one's playing it. Cascadia is here with 5,071.
Spirit Island is at 5,392, and I'm trying to Parts
it's always
one, it's always around.
It's always in like the top 15.
But that's taking quite a jump. So
that's a big
maybe
game.
People are taking the summer to show people Spirit Island. We're not against it, but we're like, wow.
Azul has 7,763.
We got Wingspan always way up here at 8,054.
And then the absolute top, probably gonna be here for a while, is Ark Nova with 11,368. It's on BGA, and on top of that, it was already getting played a ton just physically.
Yes.
Ark Nova's gonna be here for a bit, fam. I think so. People really love it, and so do we. That is the most played games month. Make sure to log your plays. Let's go back up and let's go over some Murph picks. My Murph pick is going to be a picture of the new cover for Kalimala. This is a new cover. This version of Kalimala is coming up by Alley Cat Games, and they had Ian O'Toole do the art for it. Ian O'Toole is one of the best board game artists out there, maybe the best. He's just so darn good. And the reason why this is so exciting for me is because, one, I mean, look at it. It's absolutely beautiful, right? It's, you know, Tool art, it's incredible. But the main reason is because I really liked the game Kalimala, but the look of the game really turned me off. The look of a game matters to me, and for some reason, that one particularly just looked so plain and just really took me out of the game and made it so I really didn't enjoy it as much as I could have. If it didn't even have to have like incredible art, just like okay looking art would have been great, you know? The theme's not doing it for me. So now with this new art and this new cover, I'm immediately like, getting Kalimala immediately. This is what it should have looked like originally. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, Ian O'Toole did it again. This cover is beautiful. I cannot wait to see the rest of the game.
So my Murph pick is really simple. A representative of KOSMOS made a post on the news area of BoardGameGeek that My Island, the follow-up to My City from Reiner Knizia, this is another legacy-style tile laying game. My Island is going to launch at Gen Con, meaning it's going to be available for sale at Gen Con, which is something I am personally so excited for. We love My City. I played through it multiple times. I have the roll and write. And I've been eagerly awaiting My Island. And I was thinking that's not gonna happen at Gen Con, so we have to wait more, which is fine. But I was like, no, I really want My Island. And they officially said that yes, it will be at the con. It will be available for sale, which means it's gonna be right at the top of my list for things that I personally wanna get. I'm so excited for My Island. Cannot wait.
All right, so at the very end of the video, we always pick one game that we have played. It's actually been a relatively slow month for us, gaming-wise.
Slowest in a long time.
Slowest in a long time, but notice we still played some absolute bangers, because most board games are bangers nowadays.
You know it.
So, Mike, what was your favorite game of the month?
So my favorite is Legacy of You. So I haven't played in a while.
Did you restart?
I restarted the campaign, because I played through it around this time last year, last August, September and stuff, and it'd been a while, so I wanted to start fresh.
Yeah.
And I played through a couple games while Logan was taking a nap one day. It's a great solo campaign, resettable campaign game. That's just so fun. It's so fun to kind of work out your resources, your workers, how to make best use of everything you have while you try to build canals, stay ahead of this flood that's coming, fend off barbarians and stuff that are threatening your lands and stuff. It's great. So I played 2 games. I lost one, then I won the last one. It's just so good.
Yeah. My favorite game was Space Station Phoenix, Arizona, obviously known for its space stations. Space Station Phoenix is a really fun game, kind of worker placement, kind of engine building type game where you're building out a space station, you're trying to attract aliens. It's a very friendly game in terms of that. Like you're just trying to build a space station for these aliens to live on, but these aliens have specific things that they need. So the pink aliens can only go in like the pink sectors, the teal aliens can only go in the teal sectors, and you're building out. But this game is cool because there's like, every person has like a different special ability or something that they do. And there's like 24 of them. There's a whole bunch of them. You're never, especially in a 2-player game, you're never using all of this stuff. And so the game is pretty different every single time, depending on what kind of ships you have, what kind of sectors you can build, what kind of powers you have. And it's just really fun. And this game has gone completely under the radar. One of our friends just gave it to us being like, hey, I heard this game's good, here. Learn it, and we're like,
it's
okay.
amazing.
And it's really fun. It's on BGA. It's absolutely outstanding. I really like Space Station Phoenix a lot. It's my favorite game of the month.
Boom, that's it for us, everybody. Let us know in the comments what's your favorite game of the month, whether that's new to you, old, whatever it is, the favorite thing you played in the month. Get those in the comments below. Nick's already on his way out of here. I'll be taking
We're going to Gen Con.
I'm Mike. Nick's on his way to Gen Con. We'll see you all there. If you're at the con, do come say hello, and we'll catch y'all next month.
Bye, everybody.